What is up, my aquatic lifers? So I was recently working on this video that I've been editing for 5 months, and I reached a point where I just had to be honest with myself, and I said this video is not good. It didn't have the right direction that I wanted, and it was really pointless. So I had this big, massive video that I just decided to can, and that kind of sucked, you know, having all this effort put into a project that doesn't go anywhere. So to sort of cheer myself up, I watched some of my really good videos, you know, and it started to get me thinking, what is my Magnum Opus, as you would say? Immediately I think of some of my favorite videos to make, so videos like Coca-Cola skit or behind the scenes of Gotham. But then there's also those videos that a lot of other people really liked, like the Doubles highlight reel, or that one Mario Party video. I also started to think about videos that took a lot of effort. So the YouTube poops that I made in 2021, those ones took months and months of production. And you know, I remember the weeks leading up to releasing those videos, I would spend at least 2 hours a day working on editing the video and making sure it was really polished. And I just remember the finished product when I first saw it. It was one of the coolest things ever, because it's this thing I'd been working on for so many months, and it was just, I don't think I've ever had a more gratifying experience than those two videos. There's other videos I put a lot of time and effort into. One of them that comes to mind is my 200th video. That was sort of my really big comeback video in 2019, and that took quite a bit of planning, and it took a really long time to edit it, because I think I was working with like 2 hours of footage. And at the time, that was one of the longest videos I've ever had to edit. Nowadays, you know, every time I do a tournament, that's 3+ hours of footage that I sift through. So, you know, nowadays that doesn't seem like as big of a deal. But back then, that was a really efforted project. And so that one, you know, especially at the time it was released, because it was released right before Behind the Scenes of Gotham. So I think at the time it was released, it was probably considered my best video. Of course, there are those videos that got the most views of any video on my channel, but I really want to look back at this definition of Magnum Opus, because it uses the word most important. So it's not the most successful, and really not even the best, like best quality, it's the most important. And so I think that really calls into question the videos that have influenced the most in my YouTube career. Arguably, Summer of Cringe episode 1, and I mean episode 1 as in like 2018 episode 1, that one could be considered one of the most influential videos on my channel, simply because it started the first ever Summer of Cringe season, and that's been a staple ever since. But I really do think that the 200th video sort of marks that very important turning point in my channel in 2019, where I decided to not care about views anymore and just do what I loved. Because that video was, I mean, it was everything I loved about my channel. It was bringing my friends together, and it was just having pizza and watching some YouTube videos. And considering the word important, I think the Doubles highlight reel does hold a very important place in my channel's history, because that was sort of the video where I really started to focus in on editing. And there were videos before that, obviously the YTPs, that were also very intensive in editing. But I think the Doubles highlight reel sort of showed me that you can do a lot with a little bit of editing, because before then I was doing almost no editing in videos like that, but with the Doubles highlight reel I did just a little bit of editing, and it made it a lot better. And it was a much shorter video, but it's very dense. You know, there's a lot of content in just those 5 minutes. And of course, you know, it's difficult to ignore the fact that the Doubles highlight reel has influenced every other highlight reel after that, and a couple of other videos like the Mario Party ones. So in that sense, it is a pretty important video in my channel's history. I think I do videos like these a lot, where I talk about videos I produced and, you know, trying to highlight some different videos here and there, but it always seems to come back to the same one, because I would say my Magnum Opus, the video that is the most important video I've ever made, and my favorite video, it would have to be Behind the Scenes of Gotham. There's just no other video that I think has influenced my channel in that profound of a way. I personally think that videos with the Backstreet Boys are the best videos on my channel, and Behind the Scenes of Gotham was essentially the first Backstreet Boys video. There were other videos before then where the Backstreet Boys appeared, but that was really the first time that we called ourselves the Backstreet Boys, and that we just got together and the focal point of the video was that we were the Backstreet Boys. You know, other videos were focused on something else, like we were doing a skit or we were making something funny or, you know, doing something for summer of cringe. But this really just was about us. And so I think that's what makes it one of the most important videos on my channel. You can say what you will about the Doubles highlight reel influencing every other highlight reel, but Behind the Scenes of Gotham influences not only every other Backstreet Boys video, but in many ways it influences almost every other video I've ever made on my channel, because it captures that sort of Renaissance mindset that I had, that it doesn't have to make sense to anyone except for me. That video truly represents, you know, doing YouTube just for the fun of it. And I think that's why I consider it my most important and my favorite video. So that is the most important video I've made so far. But who knows, maybe a video I make in the future might pass it up. I kind of doubt it, but maybe. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there was a massive project that I was working on that I just decided to get rid of. And basically in that project I was talking about different movies that I really like. But I was more focused on ranking them and making a tier list, and I didn't really talk about why I liked the movies. So I'm thinking in the future I'm going to do a lot more videos where I talk about movies. One idea I've had is to talk about movies that have changed my life, because I've realized that every time I try to talk about a movie, I'm sort of at a loss for words. But I think if I talked about one that was really personal to me, it would be easy to come up with like an anecdote or something to actually say something about the movie instead of just fumble around with my words like I usually do. I've also thought of doing a series where I'll recommend like 10 movies in each video, and I'm trying to choose movies that maybe most people haven't really heard of, but they're also, you know, movies that are on a streaming service, so it'll be easy to find them. If you're interested in those videos and more, feel free to subscribe. If not, that's cool too. And no matter what, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to join the Discord, link in the description below, and have a great day.